Welcome to GAAP Advisors channel. This video discusses an example of non-compliance with Ind AS 1 and Ind AS 27. Ind AS 1 deals with presentation of financial statements and Ind AS 27 deals with separate financial statements. After watching the videos on GAAP Advisors channel, download the financial statements of the listed company of which you are an investor, auditor, lender, or employee and see whether the company has reported similar to that being discussed in these videos. If found, make the company aware of the issues in their financial statements, enabling the company to excel in financial reporting in India. Suppose you find similar reporting in another financial statements but feel the need to discuss on the same. In such cases, you may like to have a one-on-one consultation on your findings. A link to book one-on-one consultation is given in the description box. You may contribute your desired amount for the knowledge obtained by scanning the QR code given in the slides. You can also contribute by sharing this video to maximum people, spreading the knowledge and awareness of financial reporting standards in India. If you would like to get financial statements reviewed by GAAP advisors, you may mail them to info@gapadvisors.com. You can submit your issues on Ind AS on gapadvisors.com. A listed company has disclosed that the financial statements of the company has been prepared in accordance with Indian accounting standards, in short Ind AS, notified under the company's Indian accounting standards rules 2015 as amended. Please watch this video till the end to understand the problem. The company has made an explicit and unreserved statement of compliance with Ind AS as required by para 16 of Ind AS 1. The disclosure states financial statements of the company and not of the group. Consolidated financial statements are of the group and not of the company. Ind AS 110 defines group as a parent and its subsidiaries. Thus, going by the disclosure, the financial statements are not consolidated financial statements. Para 51B of Ind AS 1 requires prominent display of whether the financial statements are of an individual entity or a group of entities on a repeated basis. I will repeat again. Para 51 of Ind AS 1 requires prominent display of whether the financial statements are of an individual entity or a group of entities on a reported basis. The company has disclosed that the financial statements are of the company and thus could be said to have complied with para 51 of Ind AS 1. However, it is not clear whether the financial statements are separate financial statements or individual financial statements. Para 4 of Ind AS 27 defines separate financial statements as follows. Separate financial statements are those presented by a parent, that is, an investor with control of a subsidiary, or an investor with joint control of or significant influence over an investee, in which the investments are accounted for at cost or in accordance with Ind AS 109 financial instruments. Therefore, whether the financial statements of the company are separate financial statements or individual financial statements can only be known from having a look at the balance sheet of the company. An extract of the asset side of the balance sheet has been shown in this slide. The company has investments. However, it is not clear from the balance sheet whether the investments are only in other than subsidiary, associate or joint venture. If the company has investments in subsidiary, associate or joint venture, the financial statements of the company would become separate financial statements as defined in para 4 of Ind AS 27. Else, the financial statements of the company will be individual financial statements. Therefore, the reader has to have a look at the note on investments to understand whether the financial statements are separate financial statements. This slide shows an extract of the note on investments disclosed by the company. The company has investments in equity shares of subsidiaries. All investments other than investment properties are financial instruments. However, para 2.1a of Ind AS 109 Para 2.1a of Ind AS 109 scopes out investments accounted for in accordance with Ind AS 27. Para 10 of Ind AS 27 provides a choice to measure investment in subsidiary either at cost or in accordance with Ind AS 109. The company has measured the investments in subsidiary at cost in accordance with para 10 of Ind AS 27. Therefore, company has aggregated investments measured at cost in accordance with Ind AS 27 with investments measured in accordance with Ind AS 109. A question arises whether such aggregation is proper. Para 55 of Ind AS 1 states as follows. An entity shall present additional line items, including by disaggregating the line items listed in paragraph 44, headings and subtotals in the balance sheet, when such presentation is relevant to an understanding of the entity's financial position. Now the question arises when presenting additional line items in the balance sheet is relevant. In this regard, para 58 of Ind AS 1 answers this question as follows. An entity makes the judgment about whether to present additional items separately on the basis of an assessment of A. The nature and liquidity of assets, B. The function of assets within the entity, and C. The amounts, nature and timing of liabilities. Para 59 of Ind AS 1 clarifies that the use of different measurement bases for different classes of assets suggests that their nature or function is different. Thus, the function of investments in subsidiary measured at cost is different from other investments measured in accordance with Ind AS 109. Para 30A of Ind AS 1 states as follows. When applying this and other Ind AS, an entity shall decide, taking into consideration all relevant facts and circumstances, how it aggregates information in the financial statements which include the notes. An entity shall not reduce I repeat, an entity shall not reduce the understandability of the financial statements by obscuring material information with immaterial information or by aggregating material items that have different natures or functions. Thus, by aggregating investments in subsidiary measured at cost with the investments measured in accordance with Ind AS 109, which are of different functions, the company has reduced the understandability of its financial statements. The company should have presented separate line item of investment in subsidiaries within financial assets in balance sheet. Therefore, the company has not complied with Ind AS 1. Due to this, balance sheet and notes have been impacted. Now coming to the question of whether the financial statements are separate financial statements or individual financial statements from where we started. The company has investment in subsidiary and therefore the financial statements of the company are separate financial statements. Had the company presented a separate line item of investments in subsidiaries in balance sheet, we would not be required to peep into the note on investments to understand the same. In this regard, attention is drawn to the requirements of para 17A of Ind AS 27, which states as follows. When a parent other than a parent covered by para 16A, 16 and 16A, or an investor with joint control of or significant influence over an investee prepares separate financial statements, the parent or investor shall identify the financial statements prepared in accordance with Ind AS 110, Ind AS 111 or Ind AS 28 to which they relate. The parent or investor shall also disclose in its separate financial statements the fact that the statements are separate financial statements. The company has not disclosed that the financial statements are separate financial statements and accordingly has not complied with para 17A of Ind AS 27. Due to this, notes have been impacted. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hope this video was useful and you have contributed your desired amount by scanning the QR code for the knowledge obtained. If not, please do it now. You can also contribute by sharing this video to maximum people, spreading the knowledge and awareness of financial reporting standards in India. If you would like to get financial statements reviewed by GAAP advisors, you may mail them to info@gapadvisors.com. You can also submit your issues on Ind AS on gapadvisors.com.